Hey, what's going on, everybody? This right here is an impromptu video. I did not have anything planned, so what I did was just press record, and I'ma hope everything just comes together, amen? It's the beginning of summertime, and yeah, some plants are doing well, some are not. So I'm gonna show you a lot of the plants that I'm happy about, you know, new summer growth, and I just might show you a few that are not doing so hot. So yeah, let's get into it. This is my Philodendron Bilietiae. What you think about that? Look at this. Yeah, my Bilietiae has grown up. That might be the proper statement. It's grown up, and it's gonna have to do some growing up because I am planning to just put this one outside. Currently, it is in my greenhouse, and it's doing well in there. But I want to put this out in my yard as if it is a normal outdoor plant. I'm a little bit scared, but this thing has grown. You got to go ahead and spread your wings and fly and see how you survive this California summer. I do have some shade cloth outside, which I will show you a little bit later on. And I'm gonna set this one up in a nice little display, and it'll be underneath that shade cloth, and we'll see how it gets through the summertime. I really love this plant, so if I see any signs of decline, then I might bring it back inside or put it right back in the greenhouse. But I really want this one to be a good outdoor plant. I think it has the capabilities. I think so. So we'll try that out. But yeah, check it out. So I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Now that this plant is, you know, quite mature, I just might like this one better than the Spirited Sanctity. Cause look at it, it has like that Spirited Sanctity look, but these petioles, bruh, it's like a very bright orange color, especially when you give it a lot of light. It is a bright orange color. And yeah, it grows in that rosette pattern that a lot of people don't like, but it's to the point to where it's climbing up a bit, if you can see that. And look at all these aerial roots. So it's kind of behaving the same way as a Monstera deliciosa, where it puts out these long aerial roots. Yeah, I think it's at a point where it's very hardy. So that's my Bilietiae. I'll keep you updated on the great things that this plant should be doing. So listen, my idea is this. I have imported a lot of plants, and I've showed you those unboxings on my channel. And you may be thinking, where are they now? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run around the house and try to look for plants that I have shown on this channel so that I can provide you with an update on how they're doing. It may get a little bit confusing because if I tried to acclimate the plant and it didn't do well, I probably cut it up and it's probably now a smaller plant. Okay, I found one. This is the Philodendron Amazon Sunset. This is a verrucosum variety, and it's one of the bombest verrucosums out there. This is a stunning plant, and I will try to put the link up of when I first got this plant. I got it during my birthday haul, or maybe I'll just put the thumbnail of that video. So I bought two of these, and during acclimation they did start to decline because there just wasn't enough roots. And what I did was I diced that up, and I put everybody in water. Every single node I put in water, and I was happy to do so because I'm gonna tell you why. I prefer California leaves. I don't care too much for the growth that happens in Ecuador or Florida. I like the growth that happens in my care because that's when I really learn about the plant. I got this back in December, and it was just doing well. After I cut all those nodes, they rooted up pretty quick, and the growth points started to activate pretty quick. I'll actually show you them right here. So out of the 2 Vericosum Amazon Sunset, these are all the nodes that I just put in water. They rooted up during the winter time pretty quick, and we got action when it comes to the growth points. So I'll be able to spread these all over the United States, because all of these will be going on my Etsy shop once they grow 2 leaves. But take a look at this leaf though. This is the leaf that I propagated it with, and once I put it in this Pafcal, this is the new leaf that came out. It's still hardening off, and it just looks really good, and the back has like the full red color on the back. And now that I know about this plant, I would say it is a lot more hardy than you may think. Having high humidity is not that big of an issue for this plant. So with cloud forest plants like this, it can be 80 or 90 degrees during the day. This plant doesn't really care. But soon as the nighttime comes, it cannot be super warm inside of your house. The remedy to fix that is you might need to turn on the air conditioner and bring that 80 degrees down to 70 degrees. You know, a lot of you may not have that issue if you have, central air vents and stuff like that within your house. But you need to cool that room or cool that space down, about 10 degrees if it is pretty hot. If your house naturally cools down maybe 80 degrees during the day and it kind of drops down into the 60s or 70s at nighttime, then you should be okay with this plant. But if it is just warm all through the night, then that's when you will have issues with this plant. All right, and that goes for the Vericosums, the Fibrosums, all of those cloud forest plants. You need to know what you're getting if you buy something like this. By the way, this plant is pretty cheap. I got both of mine for $28. $28. I imported them, and I was able to multiply them. Because if it doesn't arrive healthy, I'll cut it at the nodes and multiply them. And they do root up in water, so don't be scared to do that. Amazon Sunset. Here is another import that is doing pretty well. This is an Anthurium nigrolaminum crossed with crystallinum. I've showed this plant a couple times before. This is the newest leaf, and it does have like some iridescence in the color. So the foliage is stunning. This flowered quite a bit since I first got it. I mean, right after acclimation, it put out flowers. This is the 3rd flower right here, and I put some dark forgetii pollen on this. I'm not sure if it's pollinated or not. I have it in a terracotta pot. Y'all have seen that before, and I have to water this one often because being in this terracotta pot, it dries out a lot, and we do have roots growing out the drainage hole. So I'm gonna let it be. If this is pollinated, then I'll leave it in this pot until the berries start to form. If this flower ends up dropping off, then I'm gonna repot this into something bigger and something that no drainage probably, because Anthurium roots just be coming out, like they be coming out the drainage holes, and I don't even really like that. So yeah, nigrolaminum crossed with crystallinum, very stunning foliage, and this is a import success. Anthurium sagittatum, not doing too hot. I propagated this plant. I took like a top cut. This is that top cut, and it's not looking too well as far as the leaves, but the roots is popping. So I'm not sure why this foliage is just declining. This one is on its way out, and this one has a little bit of discrepancies, but overall it's still an easy plant. It's still an easy plant because when I got this one, it acclimated pretty good and it was growing right away. But I made the executive decision to take a top cut because the root system was just getting too big. As you can see, these roots grow really fast and they will just fill up this cup within the next couple months. And I don't be knowing what to do after it just gets super tight in the pot. So that's normally why I will take the roots that's coming out the top and cut below that and make a top cut, you know? So I have the bottom cut out in the greenhouse somewhere, so maybe I'll get another one out of this, but I really do like this Anthurium sagittatum. It kind of has like a bootleg luxuriance vibe to it because it has like the textured leaves. But yeah, not doing too hot. What can I do? Nope. Nah. This... No, because this plant is way too turned up for how that viewfinder is showing y'all. I'm going to have to get another camera to really show y'all this. This is my Anthurium luxuriance crossed with Ace of Spade. This plant is popping. This is one of those little seedlings I purchased as a little seed sprout, and it grew into this. And the camera's not doing it any justice right now, and it's getting me a little bit frustrated. This is a popping hybrid, and I'm happy that it's growing into what it's growing into. By the way, my little Anthurium mix is straight clutch for these Anthuriums. Look, I don't know if you can see that, but the roots is popping all up and through there. This just provides the perfect aeration and moisture for these Anthuriums. You can't beat them little seedlings. When you grow them yourself, they are fully acclimated to what you got going on inside of your house. And you do not get all of that damage and declining and all of that. So I think this one is gonna be, yeah, this I love this. This is way too turned up for how this camera is showing it. For real. So as a lot of you may know, I have a greenhouse in my backyard. My greenhouse is kind of like a rehab center, and it's a place where I just put plants that I do not want inside. So while those plants are just out of my sight, they are getting, you know, those greenhouse conditions so that they can either rehabilitate or just grow out. And then, you know, once they are healthy and grown out, I bring them indoors either for my Etsy shop or just for my personal enjoyment. So what I'm gonna do now is take you out to the greenhouse and I'll show you what's going on inside of the greenhouse. We're in the greenhouse. Let me show y'all this pot of Alocasia cuprea. It's about 2 different plants inside this one pot. This came from a big mother plant that I got rid of, flowered a lot, and I just put the corms in one pot, and it looks good as a nice little Alocasia clump. So that's pretty cool. Alocasia cuprea. Then I wanted to show y'all this Anthurium Malintz. It died back and now it seems to be coming back. I think it has two little growth points in one. So I'm glad to see this one come back. Pretty cool. Look at this Forgetii. This Forgetii is looking pretty beat up out here, but I don't know, it's kind of enjoying life. Look at this leaf. Let me turn it around. It's a nice big leaf, a little tattered, but it's okay. And we have an inflorescence growing off of this leaf here. This right here is a Vermiculite green sapphire. I cut it up and it's rooting. Right there is some El Choco red propagations. So you all do not be mad at me, but I cut up my Philodendron Spirited Sancti. Yeah, that's the new update on this one. So I have 1, 2, 3, and over here 4, 5. So I have 5 Philodendron Spirited Sancti because I propagated it, and they seem to be doing well out here. This plant is pretty hardy plant, and all of these cuttings have good roots. So I have a lot more of those in the future. So this greenhouse does have a shade cloth. When it's a cloudy day, I do take this shade cloth and I slide it up so that the plants can get more sun. I forgot to put it down, and what happened was this Philodendron bicolor got burned. Yeah, the top leaf got burned because I had this shade cloth up like that. I was pretty pissed off about that, but it grew a new growth point right away. So I'm just about ready to take a top cut and propagate all of these leaves here. But I do like the Philodendron bicolor. It's pretty stunning plant with the long lance leaves and the two-tone stem that it has. So yeah, summertime there is a challenge because we do have, California sun hits a lot different. It will burn plants completely up. I mean, if it burns your skin up, I get sunburns all the time. I'm pretty sure these plants get burnt up as well. So down here, I imported this Vermiculite hummingbird. I guess that's what they call it, Vermiculite hummingbird. I cut it up like I did all the rest, and now we have this new little leaf after I cut it up. So I think this one is on its way. I'm gonna go ahead and separate this out of the pot, and this can be a new plant. So this is a nice little Vermiculite. Let me see what the back looks like. The back has like streaks of red. It's not like full red like the Amazon sunset. It's pretty cool. So this Anthurium extipulatum I showed you all, it looks like it's completely toast. Both of these leaves are about to go, but I'm just now noticing this. I do see some new growth down here. This is a new leaf forming. I do have it in that good Pafcal mix. I see the roots developing. So maybe it might come back. I'll just leave it alone. It's out of sight, out of mind. I'll just keep it here, and maybe it'll come back. Same thing is happening with this Anthurium esmeraldense. This leaf started to decline. I thought this one was going to be a nice perfect leaf, but it got chopped off somehow, and we have a new leaf forming right there, if it will focus. So as long as I just keep this out of my sight and just let it come back, I can remove the damaged leaves once we get, a decent amount of new growth. But everything else is looking pretty good. Goldiana looks great. Philodendron Summer Glory doing okay. Got a Philodendron Lanamii. Like this time the leaf is a black color. The leaf turned black with like a pink vein, so that's very interesting. That's pretty cool. All of these Syngoniums, they just do well outside. These are, man, Syngoniums, I just really think they are like outdoor plants because they just look the best when you grow them outdoors. This is my Anthurium pedatum. Put out this new leaf that looks kind of weird. I'm not sure what's going on with that. And right behind it is this stunning Pneumoniae. So this Pneumoniae is doing good outside. So that's all I'll show you for the greenhouse. So let me take you to the other side of my backyard. This area was hit hard by the little hurricane that we had over the winter. So I took this gazebo frame and put a shade cloth to cover these plants. I am going to hook this whole area up, but for now this is what I have going on. So the featured Billietier in this video, I am going to place here. But I'm going to do like a little project. I have this branch that I built a cement base for. And what I will do is place that in this big barrel pot. And the Billietier is going to be the featured plant. It is going to be an assortment where I'll have other plants hanging from the branches. And I think it's going to be pretty cool. I'll show you all later on. So this right here is pretty cool. I have 3 different Syngonium in one pot. I have the Syngonium albo, the Syngonium mojito, and also the Syngonium aurea. Now I found like a little trellis from the 99-cent store, and what I will do is let all of these Syngonium grow up that trellis, and whatever grows beyond the trellis, I'll just take clippings and have more plants. So I want to show you all these colocasia. I planted a small colocasia here last summer, and it died back. To my surprise, it just came back this spring, and I like the nice black color that it has, so I'll just leave them there. And a lot of you all do not know, but I actually have Monstera in my yard growing in full sun. This is the Thematophyllum Salum here, and this is the Monstera that I have in my backyard. I also have 2 in my front yard growing in full sun. So if you leave them out there a year, on the 2nd year they do acclimate to that full sun. And if you were wondering where my Alocasia Regal Shield is, it's back here. It died back during the winter and looks like it's coming back. Next is my Dioscorea discolor, the purple yam plant. It's outside getting ate up by the slugs, but I'm gonna leave it out here because it is a full sun plant, and it's loving life. I guess I should show you all a non-Aroid. This is actually a Begonia luxurians that has grown into a proper tree. I gotta bend it down so I can get it in the frame. But this is Begonia luxurians, and it lives outdoors. I have it in this pot, and it just does way better outdoors than it does indoors. Maybe I could try to sit that down on the floor. But this foliage looks very delicate, and you would not think that it would survive outside. But it actually survives in partial sun. Like if the sunlight hits this, it won't necessarily burn up. Is that a spider web? The fuck? Where was I? Oh yeah, but yeah. This Begonia luxurians is very misunderstood. It does not need high humidity. This thing grows in my desert backyard just fine. And look at this foliage. Just nice, lush, and colorful. So do whatever you want with that information. But I know that as soon as I put this indoors, it does not do well. But when you keep it outside with a lot of sun, it turns into a tree. And all I do is just hit it with the water hose. Anytime that I notice that the potting media is like completely dry, I'll hit it with the water hose. And that's how this grows. This is not some type of rainforest lush plant. It grows perfectly fine in the dry heat, to my surprise. So my favorite plant for 2023 is gonna be my Philodendron Amazon Sunset Eerie color. So this is a little bit different from the regular Amazon Sunset. The Amazon Sunset is not even regular, by the way, but this is just the Eerie color version. It does not have a red back. It has red veins, but no red back. But look at that foliage. Can't nobody tell me that this plant is not dope. Like, this is just too fire. Like, man, I love this plant. This is my favorite for this year. And I just want like a tall version. I got this one as an import, and I think what I did was cut off the bottom leaves because they just were not, I didn't grow those leaves. So I got the plant with those leaves. And this is a California leaf. Like, the leaves that I grow in my care, they just do me right. The internodal space, like the petioles are shorter and the leaf is fatter, you know? when I import them, they have like these long petioles because I don't know whether they had the plant sitting underneath a bench or what. But when I grow them in my care, I appreciate them a lot more. And this is my first leaf. When we get a few more leaves, this is gonna be a show stopper, like 100%. But yeah, I ain't even gotta say nothing. Check that out. So this here is a Home Depot success. I got this Philodendron squamiferum from Home Depot not too long ago, and it is doing really good sitting here by this window. So this is the first leaf that grew in my care. This thing is like almost big as my whole body. This thing is like crazy huge, and this is the latest leaf that's still trying to expand. Hopefully I didn't burn it by the sun, but yeah, this thing is huge. Like, man, I'm so happy that I made this purchase. It was a little bit overpriced. We all know that squamiferums are in the $20 to $30 range right now. I bought this one already connected to the moss pole for just about $60. You know, so it was a little bit overpriced, but I must say that I am enjoying it though. These big leaves and the low maintenance on this. I take this outside every 2 weeks. I take it outside and I just spray it down with a hose and wipe the leaves down, and that's it. When I'm washing the plant, that's when this pot gets watered. And that's all I do. I water it once every 2 weeks, and that's about it. I don't even really check the soil. I can pretty much tell by how firm the leaves are if it needs water or not. But yeah, that's my Philodendron squamiferum. If you have one of these already, get it on a pole or a stake or something like that, and I'm pretty sure it can do the same thing. So I want this one. I'm gonna let this one get about, I would say, 4 feet tall before I think about making any type of cuts or anything. I do want a nice tree out of this one. Okay, so listen, if you stuck with me this far, I want to start something new. At the end of my videos, I want to have an off-topic question of the day. And just to kick it off, something simple. My off-topic question of the day is, what is your favorite cereal? Your favorite breakfast cereal? Now, growing up, I used to love Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Cinnamon Toast Crunch used to just be so fire, like, you know. But now that I'm grown, it's kind of weird. I eat cereal as if it's dessert. You know, I don't really eat it for breakfast. I eat it as like a dessert treat or something. But Oreo O's, my favorite. I don't drink regular milk anymore. I do almond milk or oat milk. With this, fire. So my district residents, I know y'all stuck with me to the end of this video, so let me know what is your favorite breakfast cereal. I think that's cool. I'm gonna keep doing these little off-topic questions at the end of the video, and they will get progressive. But you know, that's all I got for today. I do have more updates to give, but they'll be more on topic of whatever I'm filming for that video, but a lot of more updates, and I hope you like this video. Once again, I'm Dave. This is Aroid District. Thanks for watching.